Hello, this is my second blog post, and I am going to be talking about this article by Gerald W. Bracey. He's an independent researcher, and the title is called Separate but Superior, a review of issues and data bearing on single-sex education. So like we've talked about in the show on these blog posts is what can we add to our list of reforming education? What is really meaningful? What can benefit kids the most? How can kids best learn? And to reach our efficient goal of creating educated citizens. When you think about the best way to learn something, you often find that when you are in a room or you're interacting with people who come from the similar backgrounds as you, it's much easier to get your point across. It's much easier to go through the material. However, you might lose different perspectives. You might lose different outcomes. You might lose different alternatives of way to view the curricula or to view the problem at hand. But the fact of the matter is that it might actually be more beneficial for you to solve the problem if you had people around you that were more similar to you. So some of the claims about single-sex education is that by eliminating the other sex, is it actually beneficial for students' learning? Is it beneficial for students' social life, and so on? The biggest thing that this article talked about, which I kind of was amazed about and revolutionized my idea about this, is that it's much more of a because none of the studies have shown dramatic increases in achievement and performance for single education. There's more of a claim of having the distractions of having that opposite sex go away. Um, the quote is about anti-disciplinary or anti-academic things should not be included in school. If school is our main goal of educating our students, why should there be other means of social interaction, of anti-academic areas? So I rebuttal this because I think that there's obviously a social element that needs to be addressed, and that is social development occurs often with students of the opposite sex, and it's quite beneficial, I believe, to have another diverse perspective in the classroom. This study was a compilation of many studies which helped me understand more about some of the other issues that are under the surface about single-sex education. Not only that it's distracting, but that kids often react to the curriculum differently, whether it's a male teacher or a female teacher. But not only that, but what women and men react to material differently as students. And so when you have only a group that you're aiming for, or one group that you're teaching, it's much easier to present on specific material that is important to them, that's significant to them. It's more helpful and engaging for students to be taught if their teacher is of the same gender. That's another thing that we figured out, was that yes, maybe in some subject areas they said in reading women are so far ahead that doesn't really make a difference about what the gender of the teacher is. But the fact of the matter is that in science and sometimes in math, it's often better for students to have a male teacher, which is an interesting concept. Maybe that's our own opinions and socially constructed ideas about where men and women have to be in our academia. Men obviously having more of a representation in science and math, whereas women in social studies and things like that. Um, However, I was not amazed by the fact that there was no conclusive evidence about the pros and cons of same-sex education. They said that really the two bigger things that contribute to the distance and achievement gap, or the distance between gender achievement, is socioeconomic status as well as curriculum variables. So if you have a curriculum that's mostly focused on male achievement, then you're obviously going to find more males achieving in that scenario. whereas topics of the curriculum that can be brought up in male classrooms or versus female classrooms. But on the other hand, socioeconomic status really plays a bigger role than actually gender does, because it can be really debilitating for students of who live in poverty.